rapidly at this time. On scene,
Hello. Welcome
75
in. This is
8 strike teams make up some of those 75 engines.
Laguna
We've
Beach
got
is
4
on
CAL
fire.
air tankers at scene. They're actively dropping fire retardant now.
Covering this live.
We've got 5 hand crews on scene, 2 bulldozers, and 5 helicopters. 1 Orange County helicopter, 2 LA County Fire Department helicopters, and 2 CAL FIRE helicopters that are en route and likely here at this time. As far as the situation, we are working to keep the fire west of Boat Road, east of Emerald Canyon. The fire is hung up a bit below Emerald Canyon at this time. I'm happy to report there are no structures lost, none damaged, no reports of firefighter injury or civilian injury at this time. Evacuations remain in place. Chief Garcia will be speaking to the evacuations, road closures, shelter areas, those sorts of things in a moment. I want to thank all of the local fire departments, all of the Orange County fire departments that assisted. This is in the unincorporated area of Orange County. We're in unified command with the city of Laguna Beach, with CHP assisting, and I believe Newport Beach is also a cooperator.
Major
fires. Have these types of fires, we rely upon mutual aid. We have well-developed plans,
wet season,
send robust responses, and we get support from all of the fire departments here in Orange County. I want to send out a special thank you to my friend and partner in public safety, Interim Fire Chief Anthony Maroney at Los Angeles County Fire Department. Once I got the call this morning, shortly after about 4:30, understanding where this was, and having experienced the 1993 Laguna fires, knowing that it was under wind, hedged our bet a bit, called the fire chief personally, and asked him to help us.
My son goes out.
And to help us with a couple more helicopters. He did, and actually threw in a couple more hand crews. So I want to thank LA County. Also had offers from the city of Los Angeles, Ralph Terrazas, the fire chief there, who also offered air support. We didn't need it at the time. Most of all, I want to thank the community of Emerald Bay and the neighboring communities. Your work in creating defensible space, allowing us an opportunity to have a better opportunity of protecting your homes was evident. While the fire did spread rapidly, when it got into those areas where there was good defensible space, that fire laid down as it should. And again, we had no structure damage, no structure loss. I personally had an opportunity when I first got here before daylight to walk the areas of the fire that I could and to interact with the firefighters that were on the line. And while we did have a robust response, a lot of resources along those structures to defend them, really it's the homeowners and the community that really deserve a great shout out for heeding the fire service word and doing exactly as we shared. I also want to thank those that evacuated when we in law enforcement asked you to evacuate. We appreciate that. When you don't, it causes us considerable challenges. We can no longer go out and fight that fire. We have to go into rescue mode and rescue people, and the fire gets larger. So thank you to all of the residents, again, that heeded the warning and the evacuations and did what they needed to do. At this time, I'd like to introduce Mike Garcia. He's the fire chief for the city of Laguna Beach. And again, he will talk about evacuations, road closures, and shelter areas. I will say before he steps up, there will be questions about how long, when will residents be let in. We don't have that info. It's premature for that. We've got a lot of resources, on this fire. We've got a lot in staging. So even if the area cools down, and we would be able to let you in, we've got a lot of hose out. We've got a lot of firefighters. So residents will not be allowed in until it's safe, not only for them, but for our firefighters. So I wanted to kind of throw that out there before it came up. Pardon me? And we'll get to questions at the end of this. We'll open it up for questions.
Well, that's interesting.
At this time, I'd like to introduce Chief Garcia.
Hey, good morning, everyone. As you are aware,
we've had
evacuations. Currently, the communities of Emerald Bay and Irvine Cove are under mandatory evacuation, and everybody, fortunately, has left. North Laguna Beach is under advisory, and we're asking our community to stay vigilant, be prepared to leave when asked to do so. When you look around here, you couldn't even tell there's a fire going on, and we're very close. There's an active fire going on. It's going the other way. You don't see it. So it's easy for everybody to think, hey, it's okay. We need to get back into our house. It should be okay. We're telling you it's not. This is subject to wind and wind changes, and we are monitoring that very close. This is a large team effort, and we're taking safety very serious. Road closures. Coast Highway is closed. Please stay off Coast Highway. It's closed northbound from Broadway and southbound from Newport Coast. And we're asking everybody to stay away from the area. We have many fire resources currently on scene, and they are moving back and forth. They're utilizing the highways. We have many that are coming in and changing crews and such. So we need those areas open, and we don't need the congestion of people. For those that have evacuated, for those that need help, we have 2 evacuation centers. We have one here in Laguna Beach, our Susie Q Community Center, right down the street here on Forest Avenue. And we also have the community room at Los Olivos in Irvine. Doesn't matter what city, what part you're from. If you need the help, please go there.
Could you imagine having to go to evacuation
taken care of? With that, I'm going to turn it back over to Chief Hennessy.
Thank you, Chief Garcia. I'd now like to introduce County Supervisor Lisa Bartlett, District 5.
Thank you, Chief Hennessy. So Lisa Bartlett, Supervisor, 5th District. My district now covers from Costa Mesa, Newport Beach, all the way down to San Clemente. We were notified this morning about 4:30 about the fire. We've been fielding phone calls and text messages, getting people out to the evacuation centers. And I know that the swift action of all of the agencies, I also serve on the board of the Orange County Fire Authority. And we know the important work that's done. With Emerald Bay, it's in the unincorporated area of the county. So even though it resides in Laguna Beach, the county is responsible for providing all of the services. So I'm sort of the de facto mayor of Emerald Bay. But the fire authority, along with all of the fire agencies that reacted so quickly and deployed all of the apparatus to assist in this fire, made a huge difference, putting in the fire breaks, and hopefully they'll get it contained in short order. Stay tuned. We're pushing everything out on social media that we can to the residents and people that are interested in keeping on top of things at Supervisor Lisa Bartlett on Facebook and at OC Sup Bartlett on Twitter. So just check social media, watch the news, stay engaged, and we just want to remind people to, abide by all of the laws in place right now. Stay out of the area, and for people that want to get back in their homes, just stay tuned. Right now, it's not a safe time to get back, but watch the news and check social media. And the fire authority and police services will be in contact to let you know when it's safe to get back in your homes. We're getting a lot of phone calls on that right now. So at this point, I'll turn it back over to Chief Hennessy. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Bartlett. I'd now like to introduce the city of I don't know why I keep saying Long Beach, Laguna Beach, Mayor Kemp. We are in unified command with the city of Laguna Beach. Mayor.
Good morning, everyone. First, I'd like to thank Supervisor Bartlett for her support, and she contacted us immediately this morning, was right on point, and we thank her so much for that. I also got a call from Supervisor Foley. So for the Board of Supervisors in our area, I want to thank them so much for their support. I want to assure the residents of Laguna Beach that we are in very good hands here. Our city manager, Sheree Dupuy, opened the Emergency Operations Center immediately. I happened to be there while she was doing it. It was very smooth, very quick, and quite impressive, to be honest with you. We have excellent on-the-ground support from our Laguna Beach Police and Fire, our City Public Works, OCFA, of course, Cities of Newport and Irvine, OC Sheriff, and Caltrans and Edison is also on site. Stay informed via our Nixle that we send out regularly to all residents who have signed up, and also look at the Laguna Beach City website, and we will provide regular updates. For residents, I ask you just to be informed, be attentive while we work through this process. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Kemp. At this time, we'll field some questions, at least for a little while, and then we'll go from there. Why don't we start left? We'll go left to right. How's that? Pete, what do you
Chief, given the direction the fire's going, wind conditions at this point, do you have the assets needed to stop it if it makes a run? Do you have fire breaks, which are already set or will be put in courtesy of either camp crews or heavy air tankers coming in?
We appreciate that.
All
That's a
right,
great
so
question,
what I'm gonna
Pete,
do is
and
I'm
the
gonna
answer is
change
yes.
streams here real quick.
We had
Now,
a
this is
robust
live. We're gonna come
initial
back to the live
response. We
stuff,
always
but
do. We were quick to call
what's
for
happened
additional
here
resources.
is
We're very well
give you
resourced
an
at this
idea
time. This is
of crud. Give you an idea of what's happening or what the fire looks like. There is other video coming through. It's older video. It looks like only Fox out there has a live video, but check this one out.
10 miles out, you can see there from Skyfox what we're going to. Now, this is reported about 20-30 minutes ago, and you can see from Skyfox.
Now, can you imagine this? I'm going to stop the real quick thing about this. So, they're saying this was 20-30 minutes ago. This was filmed at 5:14 a.m. LA, 8:14 on the West Coast. So 4 hours ago, this started. And somebody calls in and they jump in their helicopter, they fly out here. And this is terrifying. I don't know if you've ever seen a wildfire before, but it's terrifying because you look at it and you think to yourself, there's no control. There's absolutely no control. You have there's no way to control your house, what's going to happen. And the worst thing is, where do you go? It's absolutely awful, terrifying.
They're actually kind of hopscotching their way along the ridge tops out here in the Laguna Beach area. Now, the actual area where they said was where the fire started was in the Emerald Bay area. They actually gave an address off of Emerald Bay Road, Canyon Road, up in the hillside. As Skyfox is getting closer, we can actually see that glow. Like I said, we're still about 10 miles out, moving very quickly towards those flames. Right now, though, we know Orange County Fire, Laguna Beach Fire, and authorities from Orange County are all out here battling these flames. But it does look like this is going to be a real firefight this morning. That's probably going to go well into the afternoon. You can see those winds
they're so
out
used
here
to
and
it, the
those
guy
warmer
already knows
temperatures
what
not
to
helping.
expect.
The only positive that we can see for right now as far as weather is concerned is that most of these flames are actually being pushed towards the ocean side right now. So that means that it's actually good. It's limited to what can burn.
Yeah.
But you can see already this started out about 20 minutes ago. Don't have acreage, but you can see there's many separate hotspots out here and a huge area that is on fire. Unclear about structures. We'll be there shortly. We'll get more information when we're closer. I'm Stu up in Skyfox. Back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Stu, thanks so much. And
Just
Gigi
think about
Gracia is
that.
headed to the scene
That was
right there.
happening.
We'll, of course.
I mean, that's it. They're there like 20 minutes after the call. 20 minutes after the call. And Southern California just went through their wet season. So it's really weird. It's I don't know. I'm at a loss, really. Fires are scary, and see, I'm going to try to get back here to the updates. Right, did I do that right? No, I didn't do that right at all. Sorry. All right, here we go.
As I commented, at least right now, the fire has moved north of Emerald Bay. There are no communities immediately adjacent to where the fire is spreading now. If the winds hold as they have, the air tank, we continue to get the air support that we've got on scene. We're continuing to get hand crews in, additional engines. I'm very comfortable with where we are at this time and keeping the fire's growth to being very minimal at this point.
God, I hope those words don't come back to biting.
Do you have arson on scene that you have at the point of fire? What's the
We do have our arson investigators at scene. We're working in conjunction with CAL FIRE. The fire is actually within what we call the state responsibility area. We are a contract county, one of 6 in the state of California, where CAL FIRE, the state, pays us to protect the lands that they're responsible for. And so we will be heading up the OCFA, the fire investigation. It's under investigation. It's very early. It's premature. I don't want to speculate at this time. There are power lines in the area, but again, I don't want to speculate on the cause because it is very premature.
Is it near a road or an open land where it started with the fire first, or just what kind of terrain was it?
It's, from what I saw, and I'm only going to report on what I saw in near dark. The fire was on the side of a hill. The way fire spreads, I'd imagine it started somewhere below that. To the degree there were wires in the area above that. I don't
mean, you
know.
can hear the fire
I just don't
engines
have that
behind them.
information.
Chief, can we look forward to the next few hours? We will have record temps again today, likely.
We will.
And wind. Please talk about what you anticipate will happen in this fire zone.
You know, so their kids.
Well, I'll tell you, that's a great question. You know, I'm really pleased to say we've got the resources in place now and feel very comfortable about what we have. Given the fire behavior, the weather, the forecasted weather, we're in pretty good shape. 5% is a really conservative estimate of containment. I will just say that the fire is not spreading rapidly at this time.
Not
There's
spreading
very
rapidly,
little
that's
growth
always a positive,
on
right?
many edges of it. But you said it. We've got 2 or 3 more days of weather like this. The winds have subsided somewhat this morning come sunup. They were blowing significantly harder last night. That's not unusual during these kind of weather events. So we're using that. Well, the temperatures are going up and the humidity remains low. This is the opportunity to look for to jump on these fires and get rapid containment before the winds again pick up. But we're in for a good couple days of tough weather. You know, I drive the local highways like everybody else, and we see green on the hillsides, and I think it lulls us into a sense of complacency, if you will. We used to talk about fire seasons. We now call them fire years. This is a great example of what a fire year is. It's February. It's the middle of winter. We're looking at 90-degree temperatures, single-digit relative humidity, winds out of the northeast, and the Santa Anas have lined up. So we're not out of the woods.
Northeast
we're hoping,
winds.
and we're hoping that you will carry that message out there.
Northeast
Be
winds.
extremely diligent over these next few days, and all days. When it comes to fire, do not let your guard down. Get your defensible space done. Be ready to evacuate when we ask you to evacuate.
That's the thing. Is
Great
anybody
question. Thank you.
ready to evacuate? Does anybody keep an evacuation bag? I mean, what would you?
1993, as if the way of firefighting has changed.
What would you do?
Sure.
But what specifically is different from that catastrophe?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. The question was, how is this different? And correct me if I'm wrong, but how is this different from the fire experience in 1993? And some of us are old enough to remember that fire. I know, I don't want to date us too much, but that was a devastating fire. Those of you that recall that, I think one of the biggest differences is that fire started many miles away and northeast from Emerald Bay, from Laguna Beach, and it had time to get a head of steam on it by the time it got to the coast. Air resources were scarce. There were other fires burning at the time. We didn't have the coordination. We're talking about 1993. Didn't have the coordination that we do now. Didn't have the agreements in place. That same fire today would be handled much quicker, would be prioritized much faster. We'd have the aircraft we need. I think one of the key differences today is this is the only fire in the state. We have resource. We are
That is
resourced.
crazy to think. I mean,
we
you always
need
think about
more,
California, everything's
it's
on
simply
fire
a
there all
phone
the time.
call,
Maybe all
and
their
we
fires
will
are
get
burned
more
out.
right away. Again, if this remains the only fire.
Fire officials there in California talking about the Emerald Fire, their 5% containment right there as they continue to work this, and hopefully, like they said, the winds will participate and do what they.
Turn this down. They may go to a commercial break. But look, oh man, check out those. I mean, those things always amaze me. And you look at it, you think to yourself, does that do anything really? And yeah, it does. It's a chemical retardant. I mean, look, they just have their trucks on that. Who cares about the Dow? I mean, my gosh, there is a fire going, people. Why can't I not find more fire footage? You know what we're going to do? We're just going to keep on hitting all these different ones. I'm going to go through the whole litany here with you guys. So let's see here. There we go. This was 2 hours ago. All right, we're going to go from place to place. I got... Who is this jabroni? Is that Biden? Is that Brandon? Yes, I do have the thing turned on backwards. Because I'm tired of getting copyright struck on every little nitpick thing, because they got a stupid computer goes through. You know, as I heard that they have a contract now with a company. You hear that? I guess some acoustic music, acoustic cinematic playing, brought to you by StreamYard. Just because it plays over, and it's another little thing to keep the people away. I mean, I hate to say that. That's what we've become to. I guess, I messed that up, didn't I? Yeah, there you go. All right, we're going to share this. Check this one out here.
Basically, where it is moving, what areas are north and south. And the reason
Look at
why
that.
there goes that drop. The reason
And all this
why
is
they are
within the
so
last
concerned-
4
you know
hours,
what?
y'all.
I'm sorry. It just shows you those high winds. It shows you right there when he hit that, probably a couple thousand gallons weighing probably a couple of tons.
Look
just
how fast that
basically
came.
evaporating in that wind, and that's what these firefighters are dealing with out here this morning. Is those
I
high
have no
winds,
idea
those
why
embers
California is
just
against
ripping
controlled
down
fires. That would
hillside.
take care of
And
all
it
this.
really was
Controlled
a
fire
shot that
comes,
kind
you
of
come
gave
in
an
and just
idea
it
of what
burns
these
all
guys on ground are dealing with that helicopter trying to do
kindling,
that water
so to
drop.
speak, all the
Usually
dry
we see
brush,
that
all the
just
dry
go
grass.
straight down
Have
onto
you
a
ever,
hot spot. In this
honest to
case,
goodness,
that
have you
helicopter was, the water
ever
was basically
seen a
dissipating,
Christmas
and he
tree
was
go up
not
in flames?
high, he was down low.
The
Emerald
first time
Bay,
it
that's the road that
happens,
we're seeing
it's
right there.
terrifying.
Firefighters from the Orange County
You
Fire
have
Authority,
no idea.
and of
Something,
course
it's like a
other
Roman
agencies
candle. I mean,
nearby.
these things,
Laguna Beach fire, those were the first
they
guys on
burn
scene.
so
They were
hot
probably up
and
here
for so
basically,
quick.
putting down
And
that
it's just,
line,
it's a
getting that
few
structure
seconds, but
protection
my
in
gosh, it
place,
is so
and
hot, it
helping
can
get
ignite
some of those
anything that
residents out
touches
here
it
safely.
on fire.
We haven't heard of any
I've never felt
structures.
anything,
That is huge, that,
a fireplace get
many
hotter
structures being
than
damaged.
having an
A
old
lot
Christmas
of
tree put
protection
in.
going on down there, of course. The firefighters basically filling this neighborhood, keeping an eye on where
Just go to
these
show,
flames are
like,
going.
that is
Now, living in
that's the
Southern
biggest
California, we all have
vegetation,
some
you
sort
know,
of brush fire
you have it in your
knowledge,
house.
basically just from living
It
out here
is,
through osmosis.
it
And we
dries
know
out.
that fire will
I'm just
run
showing
up
that as
the
an
hillside.
example,
We've
like
seen-
what all
we
those
put that
underbrush and
curve
everything here
run
is
up
like.
the
What this
hillside.
does.
Right now, we're up on the top of the hill, and winds are pushing
This
it
is
down the
absolutely
hillside.
unbelievable.
Good and bad. It's going to keep those flames from moving very, very quickly.
Yeah, this
but
guy's saying less than I am. Let's turn him off. He's got annoying. I like this little map down here. Show you where the brush fire is. It's at the, where is that? Antrim Lane? I like StreamYard's little acoustic cinematic music. It's very calming. Alright, we're gonna go. There's another one of these. I promise I'm gonna show them all. Look at this. Boom. Well, that's the one we just showed. Let's go down here. Don't want to see him. I don't want somebody interviewed. I want to see this. That's weird. Why is this small? That's the way that's supposed to work at all. Let's go back. Try that one more time. There we go. Look at that. So look at all. Here's the thing you don't get. Have you ever been in the pathway, or have you ever been outside when there's been fires? There were so many fires out west last year that here in Tennessee, it affected our air quality. And I remember one time driving, I was like, oh my gosh, like the sun, the sky, look at that. It just looks so bizarre. And I was like, I bet this is the wildfires. And so I came home and I looked it up and said, oh, yeah, sure enough, our air quality and everything was affected by it. And we're talking about thousands of miles away. These people are right here in front of it. They don't have N95 masks that protect you against this because there's no oxygen in the air. I mean, this is why you got to get out of there. You can't breathe. You could die of smoke inhalation. This is absolutely horrible. Let's see, go back. Let's see what else there is. Making progress. All right, here we go. I don't know what this is. I mean, it just looks like it's burned all the way to the beach. It looks like it's burned all the way down to sand. Maybe the tracks and everything, maybe they were able to go that fast and tear. Yeah, they were. Holy cow, look at that. Look at that. Look how cool that is. So they came in with bulldozers and were able to turn up the vegetation and stop the fire from going down the hill. Oh, wow. And you know, the fire chief earlier was talking about the, you don't think about, with green hills and stuff, you don't think about being fire season. But you gotta remember, everything green at a high enough temperature, it burns. And it burns hot. So at 7:50 a.m., it's 77 degrees in LA. Man, who wouldn't want to be there? What a great. No wonder they call it. It's just paradise. Look, here come. Look at these homes out here. What's funny, that's an old Huey helicopter. I mean, they don't make those anymore. That's, I think Los Angeles bought them all from the military. It looks like he's lost his bucket. That's just so terrifying. That looks like something from Apocalypse Now. Golly. I don't know how these helicopters, because all that hot air coming up, you know it's got to be a bumpy ride in there. I don't know if you've ever landed in Las Vegas in the summertime. It sucks. It's terrifying. All right. I dumped off that one. We're going to get out of here so we can find another one. There goes some homes. Yeah, I saw that. Here's a nerd fighting somebody. No. That's 2 hours ago. There was one I saw that was still alive. Holy cow, that had homes. I don't want this. There we go. But there they are fighting on the streets. Literally, like right here's the street. So I've got the, there's no sound. This is just raw footage. Yeah, raw early morning helicopter video. They are down there fighting on the streets. Could you imagine waking up to that? I mean, I want to take a nap right now. I couldn't imagine waking up this many hours ago and being like, oh gosh, we gotta go. And again, what do you grab? What do you get to get out of your house? I mean, we are such pack rat, and we are such slaves to our possessions. Look at that, man. You know, I'll tell you what, I get the hell out of there. So the only thing I'm gonna get out of my house. Wow. Oh, man. Jeez. That's all we got, man. That's,
profit.
They're going back over here.
We can take additional steps to lower drug costs for people with Medicare, something Abigail has championed. Right now, the only thing Medicare is not allowed to negotiate the price of are prescription drugs. For everything else covered by Medicare.
I mean, don't people know this stuff?
They negotiate, say, we'll pay no more than this much for a doctor's visit. So if the doctors don't want to take any Medicare patients, they don't have to. But if they have a Medicare patient, which are millions of them, they cannot charge more than a certain amount of crutches. We limit the amount of money they can pay for crutches. But Medicare can negotiate everything except drug prices. The only outfit that can't do it, they can't deal with it. My plan is going to allow Medicare to negotiate the prices they're prepared to pay for each individual drug. If the company says,
this sounds like this has been done already.
Price, fine. But they're going to lose millions of customers. Millions of customers.
I mean, really, this is like the simple thing. They've been talking about this for
negotiate fair prices
ever,
when it reflects the cost
and now
of
he's come out with it,
and the need for significant profit, but still is affordable.
He went to a doctor the other day and found out what his drug prices cost.
My plan also caps the amount that seniors on Medicare have to spend on prescription drugs each year total. So that if they're on Medicare, they'll not have to spend out of pocket more than $2,000 a year, no matter how many drugs they're taking.
That's a lot of money, dude.
Insurance companies, and
that's a lot of money.
And Medicare picking up the rest of the cost. And just last month, to bring greater transparency to healthcare costs, my administration outlawed surprise billing.
Well, we're stopping. The Fox stream is let us down. We came here to see fires. There are no fires. I mean, it's just like, oh, it's all under control. So let's go over here to let's do a live stream. Let's see if we find anything there. Nothing's live. I mean, I can't get over this. Is there a live network that I'm missing? What is going on here? Who does live video? I feel cheated. I feel absolutely cheated. There's only one live, and it's Fox, and they've got Bullwinkle on. Jeez. Okay, well, listen, if you know anybody in Laguna Beach, if you know any live streams out there, let me know. Until then, guys, say your prayers for Laguna Beach. No idea about how this affects the show. And is the show even on TV? I don't know. Until next time, this has been fun. This has been real. It's been a short-lived deal. So looks like they have it under control according to authorities. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, all the good stuff. And again, guys, as always, Godspeed, y'all.